Hello, Jim Howard here in Fort Worth, Texas. Today's date, it is December 14th of 2021. As you can see, I'm using the headset for the microphone, and I think the audio is okay. So I'm afraid to mess with very much. If you watched some of my previous videos, I said that today I'd be going to Walgreens and be getting my booster virus shot and getting a flu shot. So, and like last night, I got a email, like one that I had received, I don't know, a week previous or something, saying, well, the one last night said, that had the code that they need, and said that my date and information had not, wasn't changed. This is, just an update. And, had the time and location of the Walgreens, which is 2 blocks from here. So I had to get my socks on, had to get my shoes on, which, well, for both of them, made my blood pressure just shoot through the ceiling. The socks I got on, but that was making my blood pressure shoot up trying to get it. It wasn't just like reaching over and putting the sock on. The shoes, my feet won't fit in the shoes, but I did the best I could. What else? Well, the regular stuff with the problems that I have. And so the appointment was for 11:30 a.m. So Hillary came over and drove me over to 2 blocks because I wouldn't be able to walk 2 blocks. And went in, and there were quite a few people back there, but they were all getting prescriptions filled. So Hillary and I stood back in the line for, I'd say, probably 20 minutes. And then finally, I got up to the window, and they said, well, you're not in the system. I said, yeah, I made the appointment. Did you make the appointment? Yeah, I made the appointment here. And then, she messed around typing on the system and asked me for, date of birth, that type of stuff. And then she said, are you sure you haven't made it? And I said, no, I got it last night. I got a thing that said, your location and everything's not been changed. Everything is the same, just letting you know. And said, nope, you're not in the system. And anyway, I had the code or the number on my email, and I took a picture of it last night, and I showed it to the guy there, and he knew what some of the numbers in the. He said, no, this is the Walgreens. It's a couple miles from here, down Camp Boyd Boulevard. So it was still, it was 5 minutes or so until, I told Hillary, let's just go home. To hell with them. But I mean, that wouldn't hurt anybody but me. And Hillary said, no, Dad, let's get this. So she called on the cell phone, and by that time, it was like 11:35, and we could see the place. And Hillary said, well, we went to the one at such and such, Camp Boy Boulevard, and they said that this was that we're supposed to be there, and we're there, we're a minute or two from pulling in, and the lady said something to the effect of, well, people have to be here on time, and if you're not here, and we have to, I forget, do one a minute or one every 5 minutes or something, and those people are here, and so I'm not sure that Hillary, even if I'm not sure that Hillary sort of made it sound like we went to the wrong place. Well, yeah, we went to the place that was, you know. Uh, anyway, I told Hillary, okay, thank you very much. And so I have not got the booster shot, and I know it's, Hillary wanted to know, did I want to make another appointment? I said, oh, some other time. I need to rest up just from putting my socks and my shoes on and my pants on, and I need to rest up from that. So, what's new? I think the microphone is working this way. I can live with this if this is okay. I still want to try to improve it. And we saw 10, that's unusual. There's there's a number of trees here, but there's a tree not very far from us, and there was 10 squirrels. I've never seen, and Hillary said the same thing. She's a big animal lover. She said she'd never seen 10 squirrels in a tree before. I was thinking today that I should make a shorter video, and like I was thinking, okay, my contacts with police, or what I know about police, and then another video on I can think of some things this morning I can't think of now, but short things with as an example, and this would be more, but about my second job, I think, working as a welder, building railroad cars, and with the welding hood on, and and being underneath a railroad car welding it, welding on it. I really didn't get a chance to, talk to the other people working there. We got lunch, and then we also got a couple breaks, 15-minute or something. So this one guy just happened. We ended up. I don't know why. I came in and just started welding underneath it, and he showed up, and I guess he was doing some welding there or something. Can't remember now. Been a long time, but he and it really wasn't much use getting up. I just stopped welding, for the 15-minute break. And then he said, and I didn't know him. I didn't remember, have the hood down usually, welding hood down. And anyway, he said, well, this may be, and it was working the evening shift. I think we got out like 11 o'clock at night or something like that. And he said, well, you may not see me tomorrow. And I was thinking, well, yeah, I haven't seen you, don't know you really. He says, yeah, he says, may not see me tomorrow. He said, I used to be a Kansas City, Kansas police officer. And he said, I've been talking to the chief about hiring me back. Now, I forget where he put this thing. He said, yeah, like I was a bosom buddy of his who would agree with his, maybe because I was white. I don't know. Uh, maybe I look racist or something. And he said something to the effect of, yeah, Kansas City, Kansas Police Department, And I can't remember what word he used. You can imagine a word, He says, yeah, when we'd arrest those guys in Kansas City, Kansas, he didn't say guys. Yep, he says, at the police station, they had some steep stairs that went down to, and I forget what he said, whether it was the cells or booking or what it was, but, he says, yeah, those guys, man, they're really careless, clumsy. And they would fall down those stairs and hurt themselves all the time. And I thought, oh my God. And he says, yeah, he says, I've been trying to get the chief to hire me back in. The chief told me if I come in tomorrow that he'd let me know. So if you don't see me tomorrow, that means I'm back on the Kansas City, Kansas Police Department. And I thought, no. I was naive, I guess, I thought, yeah, police departments they're not going to take you back. Of course, this would have been about 1960 or something like that. And I learned a lot about the Kansas City, Kansas Police Department from newspapers and what have, although I lived in Kansas City, Missouri. But the Darby Corporation where I was working was First and Walker in Kansas City, Kansas, right there. I remember a story, and the newspaper was weird about the Kansas City Star or the Kansas City Times about this whole thing. Two Kansas City, Kansas police officers had some type of a problem with a guy who was working security at a bar, and I don't know what kind of bar it was. At a bar, and there was the two police officers were white, by the way. There was a security person in there who was black, and he had problems, and these two officers that there was something going on. And the paper when I read the paper, I was like, what's the story here? Because the only story you could get from it was that these two police officers off duty showed up at this bar. They locked their guns in the trunk of their car, and they went in, and they had previous problems with this guy, the security officer or bouncer or whatever. I don't know what the situation was. And this one officer got into it again with, the security guard or whatever he was. And the security guard ordered them out of the bar. And so I don't remember if two guys went to the police officers went to their, it wasn't a police car, and I can't remember the details. I'm not sure if both guys got guns, but I know one guy got a gun because he went into the bar and the security person was there in the bar or whatever, and the police officer just fucking shot him. And I think killed him, but it's been so long. But so that was the thing. I think because of my previous experience of uh, I think what it was, I think this security person probably used to be on the Kansas City, Kansas Police Department also. And I have a feeling that maybe the Kansas City, Kansas police officers worked at that bar off-duty assignments because the police love, making 2 or 3 times what their salary is. And there's and of course they would divide up the, working off-duty there. And I think that this, black person working there had maybe got the contract to work there all the time and not for the police department, because I've ran into a situation now, if I would do this as a series, but I have several other incidents that I could include, which would tell you that police officers like working this off duty because they make really good money. Because it's not that security officers make good money, but in these situations where they're working through they go to the police department and say, we would like 1 or 2 or 3, police officers to work when they're working off duty, work here, and we'll pay them. Of course, the police department tells them, tells them the amount, and it's a lot of money. So I think that's the gist of the situation. I refrained for the next more than 30 years or whatever, working as a security officer and things. I worked, I made sure that I didn't pick any jobs in Kansas City, Kansas. I made, I made, I avoided the Kansas City, Kansas police, Kansas City, Kansas, and the Kansas City, Kansas Police Department. So anyway, this is it. But that's what there I would stop, and then I would give another story along, and then another story, and another, to a certain amount of length, and that would be it. And then I'd have to come up with, well, I don't know what I'd come up with, but do that. We have a cat, but I can't get the cat to perform on, before the camera. And none of my family want to be in, take any part in, my YouTube videos. I guess one thing I would do would be make a thing on hospital security officers or just security officers and things that they did that were not appropriate or funny or stupid or something. And I think that's what I might try. But right now, I think I need to end this video. It is 5:15 p.m. here in Fort Worth, Texas. Not a bad day today. Darlene, my ex-wife, she made a couple of pork chops for me, and then she made 2 for me, and then she made a steak for our son, grown son, and then she made a steak for herself. I told her I preferred pork chops to steak. Anyway, thank you very much for watching.